Hello and welcome to another episode of a Fujoshi commentary. Today we're going to celebrate the much anticipated arrival of Season 2 of Kugi's Killing Stalking with a few facts on how it rose to fame and some of the characters involved. If you see something on this list that you think I may have missed, I have made 2 other videos on this linked in the description down below. Also, if you haven't caught up to Season 1, I must warn you, there will be spoilers. So without further ado, let's get groovin', humans. Number 5. Killing Stalking is a psychological murder mystery and horror BL manhwa. Manhwa is simply a Korean version of manga or a webcomic. Manhwa are often most recognizable among the Asian-based comics because they often display 1 to 2 panel frames in full color and work with episodes or acts instead of chapters. The author is also known as Kugi, and while there isn't much information to go on, Kugi does have a Twitter and a blog they post from and have new updates and chapters, as well as holding Q&As, contests, and showcasing fan art. And I will link both their Twitter and Korean blog in the description below as well. Number 4. While Killing Stalking became a huge hit in what seemed like overnight, it actually wasn't always the case. Before it became a huge hit in and around December of 2016, Killing Stalking was a small and relatively unknown webcomic that was limited in its original hosting site, and retranslated into other languages and hosted onto other small manga streaming sites such as Mangago and Manga Here. It remained a very niche and indie-like comic by its fans, and newcomers didn't really pick up with it until after the hype of the anime season and the popular sports anime Yuri on Ice. And the members of one of the many Yuri on Ice Facebook groups shared the comic, and it soon began to spread and shoot up into stardom among Fujoshis and casual readers alike, creating a new wave of fans to enjoy to the fullest. Number 3. While Killing Stalking was a huge success with many of the fans and newbies alike, from those craving more of a darker tone in contrast to Yuri on Ice, to the appeal and unique writing it had on fans of already the existing murder mystery and horror genre as well, there was also a lot of backlash and controversy surrounding the work. Many people opposed to it were blaming the comic for misrepresenting LGBT and queer relationships, and in some way demonizing gay men because of the volatile relationship between the 2 main characters of the work, Sang-woo and Yoon-boon, as well as claiming the manhwa uses lazy writing to depict and mock the mentally ill, and some even went so far as to believe that it is classified as homophobic quote-unquote fetish pornography, as well as condemn the fans for shipping and quote-unquote promoting the volatile and abusive relationship as a sort of kink. This created a huge rift in many of the sects of the Yuri on Ice fandom, as many were shamed for liking Killing Stalking and criticized heavily within the Yuri on Ice fandom, as well as outside looking in from the Fujoshi fandom. And while many of the fans still love it, and the controversy has died down significantly since the initial release of it, there are still people who have created groups and blog posts dedicated to destroying this work and its many fans. If you want to see my debunking video for those who do claim to hate it and despise it, I have it linked in the description down below. Feel free to check it out. Also, if you do like murder mystery and horror in the same aesthetics as Killing Stalking, but the BL portion doesn't sit well with you or just generally turns you off, I recommend reading a similar Korean manhwa comic called Bastard. It just recently ended, and it's completely free to read on Webtoons, and it has the same nature of Killing Stalking, just with the relationships revolving around a father and his young son. And no, that doesn't add any sort of incestual vibe to it, it's pretty much a standard father-son relationship. Number 2. Killing Stalking is hosted on a streaming site called Litsen Comics. The site is very revolutionary in its time and very affordable, unlike other services that have you pay to read indie works from small creators. They have 3 languages so far that they translate their manhwa in: the original Korean works, English, and Japanese. They have a system where when you see a comic you enjoy, you usually have a few chapters that they offer you to read for free, in a range of sometimes from 1 to 4 chapters, and then the rest you can pay to read by their coin system. Anyone with a debit card or a prepaid or a bank card can purchase these and take advantage of their offers and multiple packages in purchasing coins. Each chapter, or episode as their site calls it, costs 3 coins, which usually equates to about 75 cents per chapter. There's a very simple and easy to keep track of and afford, as well as minding how many coins you have stored in your bank and when it's time to buy new ones. They got into a bit of hot water in February of 2017 when they announced on their Facebook page that the excessive amount of illegal redistribution of their creators' content, they were planning to take some form of immediate actioning and examining, if necessary, and removing fan art from the streaming sites and social messaging, which also was extensively highlighted in their own terms of service on their site, which many people didn't read to the fullest and only went by the initial Facebook post and announcement on the words of fan art. To many Killing Stalking fans, they took this as Litsen censoring drawing works or some sort of traditional or digital sense of drawing and recreating fan art from the show, and they were even prepared to quote-unquote boycott the site. Until there were many told by other members to read their official terms of service on their website, and it was discovered that they were only investigating fan-made videos and reviews on sites like YouTube and some Instagram feeds. Their specific guidelines stated that if they had more than 10 panels of the comic in their video, it was arguable to fall out of fair use, and possibly those would be subjected to removal based on the context and scanlation posts, as well as those on Tumblr, which blatantly are inarguable violation of their first page warning to all its users when you purchase or read each and every episode of their works from Litsen's official site, that they are not to redistribute any form of these comics from their site. They later clarified on their FB post to keep confusion down as well. Do you think Litsen was being too harsh to fans, or do you think that they were within their rights to enforce their own terms of service to the fullest extent? Let me know down in the comments what you think. Number 1. Killing Stalking started out as Litsen's spotlight comic for winning their 2nd annual original comic contest, where creators were to make works of their own original ideas and taste for a grand prize of money, being exclusively featured on their site as well. And in my opinion, Kuki made their mark on Litsen and the Fujoshi fandom as well, as the rise in deeper, more twisted stories getting mainstream attention for being articulate and enjoyable to dissect, as well as the upcoming news that this Thursday, from the time that I'm recording this, Kuki is going to officially announce the 2nd season and start streaming it onto Litsen. So if you want to support her and her work, I recommend you going down to Litsen and buying yourself an episode. Well guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've yet to do so already, please feel free to share this video with your friends. And if you like more videos like the one you've just seen, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and let me know what list you'd like to see next. I also have a Patreon. If you'd like to pledge, I would really appreciate it, as it helps me to create more content-efficient videos and focus solely on those, as it is my main source of income at the moment. Also, I would love to thank my first patron, Kevin Gambler. Your donations help me put more content and focus more on my videos. So without further ado guys, peace, love, and stay groovin' humans!